I'm Doug Keck, welcoming you once again to our continuing coverage live of the 100 Years of Fatima on this, the 100th anniversary of Our Lady's final apparition to those wonderful 3 shepherd children in Fatima. And I'm joined on set, as we have been throughout our coverage, by Colin Donovan, who's our Vice President of Theology, and our good friend Christina Borges, who's worked with EWTN for more than 20 years internationally. Welcome, both of you, for staying with us. Vital to our coverage. Christina with the translation and Colin with the insights into the events themselves. And now we're going to be winding things down. Believe it or not, it's been over a year since we began ourselves covering the arrival of the Angel of Portugal, that 100 years to really march month by month, message by message, to the conclusion here with the anniversary of the Miracle of the Sun, probably the most well-known part of the Fatima story.
That's true, and could probably mention as well that if people go to our website, there is a Fatima mini site which gives them a lot of information regarding each of those apparitions, what the message of Our Lady is. So we've been covering them, and as you say, and it's been an opportunity on our parts to revisit what Our Lady had to tell the children, and also to reflect on how we ourselves can personally respond to the message.
Okay, well, we'll be listening and following along with all of you. We now take you to the closing ceremony of the Centennial of the Apparitions of Fatima. Pilgrims from around the world have gathered in the Basilica of Our Lady of the Rosary in Fatima, and we now bring you the closing ceremony.
We join
the Bishop of Lady of Fatima, Bishop Antonio Marto, addressing to the several dignitaries that are present for this occasion, which will be a concert in commemoration of the 100th anniversary of the apparition, the October apparition at Fatima, which closes the all the observances and celebrations that have led up to today. Present here, besides the bishop himself, is the director of the shrine, Carlos Cabecinha, and also dignitaries from the government, civil authorities, particularly the President of Portugal, Marcelo de Souza, also dignitaries, academic personages, several authorities. And the bishop directs his words to them. Our Lady is the refuge. Her heart is a refuge to all people. A refuge of peace and that conducts all peoples to God. Fatima has been confirming throughout a whole century that Fatima is a message for all, a message of simple prayer that all may understand. Along these 100 years, pilgrims to Fatima have come to this sanctuary, this shrine, in a gesture of trust and with words of thanksgiving, entrusting themselves to the arms of a mother as those who look for the comfort of hope. Also among this great flux of people, we see those seeking their mother, which also reflects on all of humanity, also seeking solace. Many are the ways that come to this place, which holds the presence of God. Pilgrims come from all corners of the world and from all corners of human experience. They come with words of trust, recognition, doubt, confusion. They express their thanksgiving and others their anguish. They look for the silence of prayer. The experience of faith, a gesture that expresses the intimacy, simplicity of a relationship. The steps of the pilgrims, the steps of the pilgrims bringing them here, bring also an infinity of biographies, of experiences of life.
que se fez para
This beautiful story of Fatima,
a presença de Deus.
this beautiful story of Fatima that was a story of the presence of God.
Em 13 de maio de 2010, pelo Papa Bento XVI,
May 13th, 2010, our commemoration began when Pope Benedict XVI here at our shrine,
e voltareis aqui para celebrar o centenário da primeira visita feita
when he reminded us, in 7 more years you will be coming here to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the visit of Our Lady to her people,
conhecimento íntimo do amor trinitário,
through which you have come to know of the intimate love of God,
o mais belo
And
da
to-
existência humana.
understand the love of God, and the love to God is the most beautiful of human experience.
Comentário ao chamado segredo de Fátima, acrescentava: possam os 7 anos que nos separam do centenário das aparições apressar o triunfo do coração imaculado de Maria,
And the Pope Benedict said, may the 100th anniversary accelerate
foi à luz deste
the fulfillment of the requests of Our Lady.
por programa de 7 anos,
And we then launched this program, the 7-year program of preparation
e de aprofundamento e
for this 100th anniversary.
da mensagem que ela oferece.
And becoming,
Itinerário de festa
going more deeply into the message that these apparitions offer.
foi pontuado pela evocação dos muitos passos desta bela história de Fátima e encontrou expressão em múltiplas linguagens.
These preparations found expression in many languages, in many experiences, so that we could all congregate in a common spirit. The symposia, conferences, the concerts, musical concerts, art exhibits,
Dos recursos tecnológicos às publicações diversas e para
through the technical means, the several publications,
dos percursos
media,
peregrina imagem da Senhora de Fátima,
and also
de aprofundamento da mensagem
the pilgrimage of the image of Our Lady of Fatima throughout the dioceses of Portugal. There were so many initiatives
de 7 anos.
that
Se desejou
took place during these 7 years,
o manto terno
which all sought to congregate all under the maternal mantle of the Lady of the Rosary.
que ao longo deste ano de centenário acorreram a Fátima,
And the many pilgrims who throughout this time have come to Fatima
lugar congregador
made sure
e esperança
that
da humanidade.
the shrine continued being a place where all could come, a place where of congregation of all the hope, desires
Todo. Pátio
of people, of pilgrims.
ilumina diante do mistério de Deus,
The mystery of the human being is illuminated by the mystery of God,
capaz de regenerar a alma e a fé. O encerramento
pilgrims coming here to regenerate their soul and their faith.
da ação de graças pelo dom recebido através do frágil testemunho de 3 crianças.
We come here to thank for the gift we received from the testimony of 3 little children,
Que atravessou
a
a nossa
message of mercy and hope
ação de graças pela
has
presença sempre confiante
informed our history
dos peregrinos de Fátima.
and confirmed by the trust and faith of the pilgrims to Fatima.
Fátima,
This name, Fatima,
inteiro,
has spread throughout the world,
rastro de luz e de esperança.
leaving a path of light and hope.
Pelo que este centenário significou
Also, finally, thanksgiving that for what the centenary, this 100th anniversary,
e da projeção dessa
has
mensagem
brought
no mundo inteiro.
and highlighted and
O encerramento deste
gone in depth into the richness of the message
sem passar
that Fatima brought to the people of God. We cannot end without a word
tom do Evangelho,
of commitment,
palavras da Senhora do Rosário
commitment to follow the words of Our Lady of the Rosary.
não perdem a atualidade.
The words of Our Lady are always new,
São João Paulo II
as says Saint Paul II. Fatima is always new.
A conclusão deste ano centenário,
As we conclude the centenary,
por isso sobre horizonte que continuará a encontrar em Fátima,
we can look at the horizon and see that Fatima will always be a place of hope,
próximo da história dos homens,
a place of the presence of God,
da história.
where the story of man continues
Maio passado,
and the man of history
Francisco, cito,
continues
no querer
his life.
e sentir de muitos peregrinos, se não mesmo todos, Fátima é sobretudo este manto de luz.
For many pilgrims and for, if not all pilgrims, Fatima is this mantle of light that covers us.
Sob a proteção da Virgem Mãe,
When we take refuge under the protection of the Virgin Mother,
mostrai-nos Jesus.
asking this Queen, show us Jesus.
Celebração deste centenário,
Closing
Senhora de Fátima,
this
a mulher
these
do
celebrations of the centenary,
a mulher
let us remember Our Lady of Fatima,
cheia
the
da luz de Deus,
woman
da sua ternura por toda
of a heart, the woman full of tenderness and love for all humanity.
de entrever a bênção por detrás.
May she give us the grace to see all the blessings throughout the clouds
De outubro de 1917.
and discern the sun behind that, just as it happened in October 2017.
Aparições de Fátima,
In this ceremony,
mencionado
to close the centenary, we will have a concert
e de alto valor histórico e simbólico.
with high
Permitir-nos
artistic standards and with high historical significance.
espiritual e universal.
Music is a spiritual and universal language.
Mistério da misericórdia de Deus que se manifestou em Fátima.
May it bring us to contemplate the mercy of God that was manifested here in Fatima and the message of peace brought to the world. As Pope Benedict XVI said, music,
Música
great music,
dilata o espírito, suscita sentimentos profundos
grows the spirit,
e convida
invokes
coativamente a elevar
profound sentiments,
Deus em toda a situação,
and brings us to think and consider God in all situations of human existence.
e artística.
So this then will be an experience, a spiritual experience and an artistic
Alegria
experience.
e a paz.
May it bring joy, the joy and the peace
Por fim,
that the message of Our Lady
agradecimento.
brought to us. And finally, a word of thanks
E ao longo destes 7
to
anos,
all those who have been
com tanta
who
dedicação,
have collaborated with so much dedication along these years of preparation and realization
celebrações deste centenário.
of the many, many celebrations and
Obrigado.
occasions of this centenary. Thank you very much, and may Our Lady bless you. Thank you.
Senhor Dom António Martos, Excelência Reverendíssima, Excelências Reverendíssimas, Reverendo Reitor deste Santuário,
Here now,
Excelência,
President of Portugal speaks, greeting all those present, Their Excellencies the bishops.
é o Presidente da República
He
Portuguesa.
who comes here is the President of the Portuguese Republic, and it is in this role that he is,
Sublinhar a
That is, I am.
título
to emphasize
deste momento.
the significance of this moment. Above all,
O centenário,
the 100th anniversary,
centenário devidamente celebrado,
the 100th anniversary properly celebrated,
que assinala a presença de Fátima
100th
na
anniversary
história contemporânea de
that shows the presence of Fatima in the history
na história
of Portugal,
de Portugal.
an important moment in the history of Portugal.
O encontro ao longo destes 100 anos
During these 100 years, millions and millions of Portuguese men and women have come here to
pelas
thank
suas alegrias,
for their joys,
as suas dores,
to mourn their sorrows,
formular os seus pedidos,
to make their requests,
a sua fraternidade,
to witness their
mas também
brotherliness, but also
Fátima
because Fatima
projeção de Portugal no mundo
is an image of,
e do mundo,
projects the image of Portugal to the world and in the world.
nos milhões de portugueses espalhados pelos vários continentes.
The millions of Portuguese people spread throughout the world.
Daquele mundo que nos chega,
That world in Portugal, that world that comes to us in Portugal, or to Portugal. And here this world comes together.
todo Portugal e de todos os portugueses.
And in the name of all of Portugal and all Portuguese, those who believe, those who do not believe, Catholics, Christians, non-Christians,
Dizemos que aqui está o
in
Presidente
all their name,
da República
here is the President of the Republic,
Nacional.
fulfilling a national
Também
mission,
Fátima,
a national
ponto de vinda, de
obligation
chegada
or commitment
de sucessivos sumos pontífices.
to Portugal. To Fatima had come several
Portugal,
popes at different moments in the history of
seu
Portugal,
testemunho.
with their presence, their witness, their appeal. The more recent one being
Francisco,
by His Holiness Pope Francis, who even today
transmitir-nos e transmitir
wanted to
a sua
give to us a message
uma mensagem que mesmo quando virada para o alto,
even
para cada dos seres humanos,
when looking up to heaven still looks down to each human being
a paz,
and calls to peace, fraternity, solidarity,
relativamente aos que mais sofrem,
attention to those who most suffer, those who are most in need,
que tantas
those
vezes
who so many times
nas periferias,
find themselves
tantos outros
in the
tão depressa,
peripheries
que a
that so many so quickly forget about. The message of Fatima,
da paz,
the message of peace,
da fraternidade,
message of fraternity,
da solidariedade,
of solidarity,
da humanidade,
the message of humanity,
do amor em todas as suas dimensões,
of love in all its dimensions. May this message inspire all of us.
inspirar,
May it inspire
possa inspirar
Portuguese society. May it inspire all humanity at the present moment and in the future. And that was the address of the President of Portugal, Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa.
Tem início o concerto de encerramento do centenário das aparições de
An
Fátima,
announcement that the concert will
sob a
begin.
direção da maestrina Joana
Choir and Orchestra Gulbenkian
da soprano Elizabeth Matos.
with the participation of the soprano Elizabeth Martos.
Peças
There
inéditas
will be two
recomendadas pelo Santuário de Fátima para
works that have been commissioned for this celebration.
Eurico
Salve Regina by composer Eurico Carrapatoso, Portuguese, and The Sun Dance by a composer known by EWTN audiences, James Macmillan from Scotland. Now the choir enters, the Gulbenkian Choir, cultural institution in Portugal. Gulbenkian. We heard the applause of the several dignitaries, clergy, prelates present, supporters. And again, this concert is taking place in the Basilica of Our Lady of Fatima, where the remains of Saints Francisco Jacinta Marto are entombed, as well as their cousin, the eldest among the three, Lucia Santos, or Sister Lucia. Maria Lúcia dos Santos do Imaculado Coração. Mary Lúcia dos Santos of the Immaculate Heart of Mary. Of Jesus of the Immaculate Heart of Mary, whose cause for beatification is underway. Here now enters the orchestra. We will not be bringing the entire concert to you. We might listen to the first strains, and that will be the first piece by the Portuguese composer Eurico Carrapatoso. Again, a setting of the Salve Regina for choir and orchestra. Salve Regina, of course, being the Marian antiphon we all know so well that we pray at the end of the Rosary, Hail Holy Queen. So that'll be a setting of that ancient prayer. Followed by an oratory, the Sun Danced, with choir, soloists, and which takes as its text the messages, the actual words, first of the angels, or the angel of Portugal, then the very words of Our Lady are set to music. And now enters the first violin. So we've seen 7 years of preparation, many, as Bishop Marto reminded us, that our EWTN viewers, we here at EWTN saw the liturgical events, the events of devotion. There were also many cultural events. It was an occasion for new art, new music, and here's an example of that. We have brought to you throughout these last 5 years, the Mass on the 13th, procession and adoration, rosary on the vigil. Here enters the conductor, Joana Carneiro, who will be conducting then the Gulbenkian Orchestra. She did her master's at Northwestern University here in the United States and a doctorate at the University of Michigan.
Well, there you have it. That concludes our coverage of the closing ceremony of the Centennial of the apparitions of Fatima, believe it or not. I'm Doug Keck, and I'm joined on set by Colin Donovan and Christina Borges, who've been with me throughout these last three events. You know, both of you know how important the message of Fatima is. How do you feel today? We're a year into it. It's been that year. We started off really focused on it from an EWTN perspective, basically over the last year. But actually in Fatima, they were preparing for much longer, right, Colin?
They were preparing for 7 years, and in many ways you would think that they've been preparing for longer, because we've all been looking forward to the 100 years. We had the death of Sister Lucia back in 2005, and that sort of brought home again that this is sort of winding down the time that she was given to spread devotion to the Immaculate Heart. So the question is going to be, I think, what's the future of Fatima then?
Right, exactly. Christina, how about you, thinking back of the importance of Fatima and the fact that we're already here at the conclusion of at least the 100th anniversary?
Right, so, well, we live day by day, and there has been this great wave, this great momentum, preparing for it, reminding ourselves of what Our Lady asked of us, and now we just continue on day by day. And maybe EWTN can continue doing a little something here and there on Fatima, which I'm sure we will, with all the wonderful programming that has been produced about it.
Right, exactly. What would you say, I'll ask each one of you, what's the one thing, maybe not so much you take away, but you think someone watching our coverage over the last couple of days and certainly over the last year should take away in living their life going forward, that Our Lady would want them to take away from the apparition? Sometimes people get caught up in the messages or the secrets and things like that, and they sometimes miss what Our Lady's true message is, right?
I think it's a message of humility, that this is what characterized her life, from her yes to the Archangel Gabriel to her yes as her son was hanging on the cross. And we think that it's a very, intense program, and Our Lady gave 5 things that she thought we should do, or gave us this program that the children followed. But it's really simple. It's the way of humility, that when all is said and done, wars and armies and diplomacies do what they have to do because we have obligations to fulfill. But it's that surrender to God which guarantees the peace that Our Lady came to speak of at Fatima.
Yes, and there's also that sense of urgency. Our Lady, would become sad. She would say, please, please pray the rosary, offer up sacrifices, because so many souls are going to hell. So there's a certain urgency, each soul that goes to hell, maybe because we didn't do our part. Not that we're responsible only for our own souls, but we participate in that as Our Lady has explained to us. So there's a certain urgency there as well, I would say.
And that's an ongoing urgency, obviously, and that's what's really important for us as a takeaway. Well, thank you so much, Christina. It's been great being with you. These couple of events, and Colin, I see you all the time. So, and Theology Roundtable, a wonderful program that you do with the theology department, and your radio show as well on its Open Line. And that's going to conclude our 100 years of Fatima. And I did want to mention this wonderful book, Fatima Mysteries: Mary's Message to the Modern Age, through our EWTN Religious Catalog. A wonderful, wonderful gift book. Maybe for Christmas, if you love Fatima, it's a wonderful thing and memento for you to have. Don't forget to check out our website, EWTN.com, for re-airs of programs, and as Colin indicated, our website on Fatima and other events you can find out about Fatima and other things coming up as we enter the Christmas season in the coming months. And don't forget about Facebook and Twitter. Download our EWTN app so you can take us anywhere you go. For Colin Donovan and Christina Borges and all the staff and crew here at EWTN, including our producer Mark Kaspersky, thank you and have a wonderful day.